we have three wings for the School of Extended Education: executive education, continuing professional development, and continuing education. Continuing education will launch further later part of 2017. That too will be a very exciting way that the university is going to reach out to the ecosystem of learners who are not necessarily into formal learning, but into knowledge acquisition. Executive education, of course, is our biggest thrust. We want to partner with all the organizations, including those who are in the room especially. We want to work with you, we want to learn your needs and provide you courses that suit the future talent needs of these organizations. And that's a quick overview of what we're seeking to do. The main things to remember about executive education is that we're seeking to be your gateway to global brilliance. And you'll see a small display of that today, but that's our hope. Wherever that brilliance may reside, wherever they may emerge, our goal at the School of Extended Education is to harness that, to modify that if needed, to develop that for India and bring it to the audiences in this country. And that's really our primary overriding purpose. The other element that you will learn about, hopefully, as you engage with us, is that we're focused on outcome-centric learning. That is, not learning for the sake of providing courses, but learning that backs up, that asks the essential questions about what it is that you're actually seeking to achieve from those programs. And we've taken some innovative steps to ensure that we have metrics to measure the outcomes for the course. We believe that will become more and more par for the industry. I've been involved in executive education now for 25 years. It is somewhat new to really front in the learning impact into the overall program architecture, and that is one way we expect SNU executive education to truly distinguish itself. So let me just go into some of the programs that we wish to offer. You'll see the posters around you. The first one that we're offering is extremely topical. It's one of those news items that's happened especially since yesterday. It's on cybersecurity. We're offering a very interesting overview developed jointly by KPMG and Shiv Nader on the elements of cybersecurity. What should leaders really know, and what should those charged with implementing cybersecurity really be cognizant of? This is a valuable and exciting workshop. Will be happening on the 2nd of February onwards. And in fact, we have a small video from KPMG. I will just tell you a little bit about this.
Hi, my name is Atul, partner with KPMG and leader for cybersecurity. It's a great opportunity for me to be present in front of you and talk about a subject which is so close to me. Cyber has emerged as a key risk which has gained upon the agenda at the boardroom, and the complexity is increasing with the rapid deployment and adoption of newer technologies. One of the challenges which we see today is that the cyber risk is not very well understood, and the complexity increases further because we tend, or some of the organizations at least tend to focus, saying that this is a technology risk and not an enterprise-wide risk, which may be because of the reason that there are a lot of technology focus which is coming across on cyber. However, the recent incidents which have happened in the country and in our neighboring regions very clearly showcase that the cyber risk has become very targeted and it's become extremely focused, which makes it to be an enterprise-wide risk. KPMG Global Survey really showcases that it's emerged as a top 5 risk for the CEOs across regions. And that's a trend which we get to see in the country as well. One of the basic things which we take out to organizations and enterprises is to make sure that we have a good understanding of cyber risk. And that's what we tell everyone. There are 3 levels at which cyber risk needs to be understood well. The first being starting from the leadership and the board level, moving to business executives, and finally at the staff level. KPMG has been committed on this journey in bringing across various programs to the industry at large. And at this point of time, when cyber is becoming such a huge risk for organization, KPMG is bringing upon a program which is structured along with SNU to bring upon a 2-day workshop or a management development program focused on cybersecurity. The focus of this program is to provide deep practical insights to look upon how cybersecurity governance and how cyber forensics can be used upon in the organizations. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to be part of this journey and make differences in your organizations. Thank you.
We scanned the various possible partners for this very carefully. We were impressed with them. So we hope that this is one program that will genuinely hit a spot and a gap, fill a gap that currently exists. There's another program that's coming up. Michael Gelb is a global rock star. He truly is. He's a performer. He's an author. He's written 13 books, of which I think 6 are bestsellers. He's a really engaging personality who is also and really encompasses deep knowledge. And his journey began with this best-selling book that he wrote on Leonardo da Vinci and distilling some of the creative secrets from arguably one of the most creative people in the Western ethos in any case, and certainly one of the most creative people ever recognized in the modern world. He then followed it up with this book on Edison, where again he did the same thing. He studied everything he could about Edison and distilled these 5 truths about innovation. So this program has been running at the London Business School and the Darden School of Business at the University of Virginia very successfully. He continues to adapt it. Michael's an old friend of mine, and we've actually changed this program and adapted it for India. So this is a program that we'll be bringing to you in February, late February, early March. So there's a very brief video again from Michael Gelb.
So I went to the place where Leonardo was born. And I went to the place where he died. And I literally walked his footsteps and aimed to look at the world from his point of view. I read his notebooks over and over again. I read the scholarly works about him. I started dreaming about him, and from those dreams, 7 principles emerged. I learned how to juggle many years ago. I saw someone doing it, and I thought it was incredibly beautiful. Looked to me like moving sculpture. So I went up to this great juggler, and I asked him to teach me. But it turned out he was not as good a teacher as he was a juggler, because you know what he told me? He said, take these 3 balls, throw them up, don't let any of them drop. You ever get an instruction like that in the course of your career? Well, I tried really hard, and the balls were dropping over and over again. I would have given up, but I really wanted to learn. And then I had an enlightenment experience. I realized that if I could discover curiosità, be more like a child, more playful, it'd be much easier. Dimostrazione was clear. I had to figure it out for myself. Sensazioni. I started to feel the rhythm, enjoy the color. Sfumato. I realized that learning anything was a journey into the unknown. Arte, scienza, and corporalità were all about balance, and that's when I had the enlightenment. Connessione. Everything connects to everything else. If you meditate on this pattern, what is it? Infinity. It represents your infinite potential. The art critic Bernard Berenson said of Leonardo da Vinci that everything he touched turned to eternal beauty. My wish for you is you'll take these principles and bring a touch of that beauty to your life every single day. Grazie mille. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Grazie mille. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Michael Gelb. Michael Gelb.
As I said, he's a consummate showman and at the same time a deep and practical thinker who's worked with many, many organizations. We're really looking forward to welcoming him to India at the end of February, early March. Another workshop, again by a world leader. This is a topic that's deeply concerning many organizations, not just in India, around the world. Diversity, and often organizations take a kind of a compliance view. to it. Oh, how can we meet the requirements? How can we meet the requirements? What is the real true secret or the beauty of diversity is organizations that are more diverse, that are more inclusive, they actually outperform financially organizations that are less so and that are more ethnocentric or more homogeneous. So diversity is not just a nice to have or need to do. It's a must have for many competitive and performance reasons. And we've invited Howard Ross. Howard Ross is arguably the world's #1 expert on diversity and everyday bias. He's been honored even by the Indian Society of Human Resource, the SHRM in India, as the leading global scholar on diversity. He's written the book Reinventing Diversity, which is a kind of a Bible for this. So we're very fortunate to be welcoming Howard Ross here in April. This is a program that will happen in April. I've gone out of sequence because the digital ones we'll be covering later. So here's a very brief video again on diversity.
Do you need a strategy that can significantly transform your organization? Have your diversity efforts reached the limits of their ability to impact your organization's performance and reputation? We all have bias. Bias is a natural and necessary survival mechanism. Left unchecked, however, unconscious bias can negatively impact performance, productivity, and profit. It influences our hiring decisions, how we assign work, who we promote, and how we create and apply organization-wide policies. We are all familiar with managerial decisions that impact some groups more negatively than others. These decisions are not made by bad people, but rather by well-intentioned people who are often unaware of the unconscious processes that inform their perceptions of people and situations. We now know that becoming aware of unconscious bias and how it impacts our thinking and behavior can help us make more thoughtful choices and positively affect business outcomes. Exploring unconscious bias is a powerful path through which participants can gain profound insights into their individual and group identity, thinking style, and leadership behaviors. New skills can be learned around decision-making, building inclusive teams, and increasing employee engagement. Cook Ross has captured this knowledge and designed an engaging e-learning course that can guide you, your associates, and your management team through education, exploration, self-analysis, and strategy to transform your workplace to one that is more conscious, inclusive, and culturally competent.
So as you'll discover, especially if you take this workshop, that diversity is not just about identifying the barriers to diversity, it's about optimizing the opportunities that arise from it. And that's what compelled us to actually choose this particular organization. Again, as I said, Howard is one of the world leaders. So diversity, that's coming up in April. And now, of course, the two that we'll be covering today, so I'm not going to say too much about this, except these two things. When you hear Professor Subramaniam, he's here really to help you navigate this confusing, new, brave digital world where everything is up for grabs. We've always had a view of organization strategies being advanced by competencies that an organization develops. Today, the nature of that competency has changed. How do you profit in the future? Where do you find opportunities in this brave new digital world? And that's what Professor Subramaniam and the framework that he's developed, a very practical framework to apply these ideas and strategize anew. And that's why he's one of our featured speakers today. And his workshop is going to be in early March. It's on, I think, the 9th to the 11th of March. We also have digital maturity assessment. Once you've identified these opportunities that the digital world brings you, then you start turning the lens inwards. How ready are we? Where are we in preparation to optimize on the benefits of being a truly digital organization? So Sanjay, Vatsa, and Scott Kolosky are going to take you through that journey. This is a magical new arena for India, especially as many of you in the IT services background know that when the CMM level, the capability maturity model, matured and the CMM level 5 organizations started emerging in India, India had 95% of those firms. And that became really the backbone of excellence for the Indian IT revolution. It gave people comfort that we were globally benchmarked. Similarly, the digital maturity assessment, which has many, many possibilities, which you'll hear from Sanjay later, again, has that sort of transformative potential for Indian industry. So we're very excited about this particular workshop as well. This will be in mid-February. And again, you'll hear a lot more about this. So the final thing I want to say before we begin is that we've launched these 3 executive programs, which are long-term programs, which are degree-bearing programs, which are very innovatively structured. The innovation comes in the nature of the material that is conveyed. Many of the items in the workshops are already in our curricula. The very same faculty that you see are actually also going to be teaching our own students. We'll be using various other educational artifacts. So each of these programs is something that bears a conversation. Our team is really looking forward to talking to you about them. The Advanced Management Program, you all may have heard and aspired to the Harvard Advanced Management Program. I was one of their biggest clients when I was with the Tata Group for years. I have a very good understanding of that particular program, and sincerity is the sincerest form of flattery, and we've, in a sense, created a new Indian version of that program that leads to an executive MBA. So all of these bear great scrutiny. I want to actually introduce Professor S.R. Vishwanath, the head of our finance department. He has architected a very novel program, the Masters in Finance to Management. This is for all people who are interested in a CPA, getting a CFA, getting a cost accounting degree. It's all built into that program. So our custom degree programs are very career focused. They're also very much part of the extended education portfolio, and we hope we'll have a good conversation with you and your organizations about the possibilities that this holds for you. So these are, again, there's some details on these programs. I do hope you'll take a time when we are having our drinks and wandering around, take a look at some of these posters in greater detail.